Fresh off of a comeback victory over the Life Prep Fire, the Hayes High Indians will look to cap off the 43rd annual Diamond Classic against their rival from across town, the TMP Marion Monarchs. And we welcome you into today's game to cap off the Diamond Classic along with our entire Tribe Broadcasting Network crew. I'm Hank Corsair. And right away, we're already set for action between TMP and Hayes High with Ian Nails leading off for the Monarchs against the starting pitcher for Hayes High, Brett Rhodes. First pitch comes at 5:53 p.m. And on a 1-1 count, it's a chopper to Brett Rhodes, and he'll throw it over to first base where Jalen Smith is standing for out number 1. So right away against Ian Nails, Hayes High gets the out. And we'll take a look real quickly at the weather. It's very sunny out, and it is currently 82 degrees with 9-mile-per-hour winds, and it feels like 83 degrees. Some great weather we've gotten this entire weekend. And now with one down, Hayes High will face off against number 4, Caden Dinkle, the catcher batting second in the lineup for TMP. Has a .382 average for TMP this season. And with the pitch on the way, this one will be on the inside, and he'll watch it go by for ball 1. We'll take a look at the defensive alignment for Hayes High. In the outfield from left to right, we'll go with Trace Jacobs, Ian McGuire, and Landon Hardman. As a breaking ball goes in, it's called strike 1. Another 1-1 count for Caden Dinkle against Brett Rhodes. At third base, it is Carter Graham, and at shortstop, Johnny Cano. And at second base and first base to round it out is Caleb Rowe and Jalen Smith, and the catcher today is number 6, Camden Sanders. 2-1 count from Rhodes to Dinkle. He'll once again throw another one to the catcher. After him, it'll be number 24, Carson Lyles, and Ty Schmeidler currently in the hole, and rounding out the rest of their order will be number 5, Adler Brown, as well as number 21, Connor Bright. Number 11, Isaac Purinton will be the 8th batter, and in the 9th spot is number 3, Jacob Seib. Grant Nails had a run and walk today against Manhattan, which was the first game of the day as part of the Diamond Classic. It will be a 1-0 count to start for the shortstop against Brett Rhodes. Another pitch will go outside, and the count is 2-0. Taking a look at Brett Rhodes, this is his 6th appearance of the year and also his first start. He spits 12 2/3 innings this year. And as he'll deliver the next pitch, he'll once again put this one outside, and the count is now 3-0 to Grant Nails. Runner at first base is Caden Dinkle. Pitch on the way. This one will go right down the middle for strike 1. So the count 3-1 to Grant Nails. Looking at Brett Rhodes, this is his first appearance since the game against Liberal, where he was a relief pitcher and only pitched for an inning. Gave up 2 hits but recorded 3 strikeouts. And he'll walk Grant Nails on a 3-1 count. Runners at first and second for the Monarchs. And for both teams, despite Manhattan already taking the win in the Diamond Classic with a 4-0 record, this is a huge opportunity for both teams to, for one, get a second-place finish. For Hayes High, that's the case, but for both teams, they're trying to improve their seeding with regionals coming up. For Hayes High, they enter this game with a 13-7 record after that improbable come-from-behind victory against Life Prep just a little bit ago, and TMP currently sits at 18-5. They are the 3rd-ranked team in the KABC 2-1A rankings. And the first pitch will go down the middle to Carson Lyles. A second-team All-State selection. Primarily used as a pitcher, but has a .400 on-base percentage with the Monarchs. Rhodes takes a look back at second base, delivers the pitch, and this one will hit the shoulder of Lyles, and he will walk to first base with the bases now loaded. So now up for TMP, they will bring in the center fielder, number 34, Ty Schmeidler. Who was named the MCL Player of the Week on April 28th. the lefty will now have bases loaded with just one out. And this one will be a wild pitch that goes completely the opposite direction, and a run will score with ease. And Grant Nails will advance to third base and Lyles to second. So the count will start off 1-0 for Ty Schmeidler. We'll see if Rhodes can adjust to this. This one will go down the middle, but they're actually going to say it's a little high, and the count is now 2-0. 2-0 on the way. Schmeidler takes a swing at it. It'll be fielded by the first baseman, Smith. He'll throw it home, and the tag is not in time as Grant Nails will get home safely, and Lyles will advance to third base. And on the fielder's choice, Ty Schmeidler is safe at first. 2-0 is the score to start the game, one out, and that will now bring up for TMP number 5, Adler Brown. Reached base twice against Manhattan earlier today where he was walked, and he also reached on an error. Just one out. The score is TMP 2, Hayes High 0, and it'll be a steal attempt, and Ty Schmeidler will easily make it to second base. It's a perfect 11 for 11 on stolen base attempts this season, and the count will start off 1-0, and we're already going to see a mound meeting between Brett Rhodes and Hayes High coach Dustin Dreher. And we'll step away as they talk things over. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians. 1-0 count to Adler Brown against Brett Rhodes, and the pitch is on the way. And it will be low and inside, and the count goes to 2-0. The runner at third is Carson Lyles, and the runner at second is Ty Schmeidler. So both teams trying to finish the Diamond Classic with a win. Count's now 3-0 to Brown. And the pitch on the way, and another low pitch thrown, and it's a 4-pitch walk for Adler Brown. And Dustin Dreher will once again make his way to the pitcher's mound, and we might see a pitching change already with just one out recorded. Tough to see if Hayes High's got anybody in their bullpen, but they will make the pitching change. So we'll let you know who that is when we come back. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
So after facing just 6 batters, Hayside will already go with a pitching change. And the count will start off 1-1 to Connor Bright. That new pitcher into the game is Johnny Cano, making his 7th appearance of the season, his first one since the matchup against Liberal, where he threw 4 innings and was able to record a strikeout while only allowing 3 hits and 0 runs. Count is 1-1 against Connor Bright, and he'll hit this one and foul it away behind the TMP dugout. Connor Bright has gotten a hit in 4 of his last 5 games and has an average of .266. And already has the bases loaded in his advantage. Isaac Purinton's on deck, Jacob Seib in the hole. Cano gets set. And the pitch on the way. And he'll take another swing at this one, and this one will also go foul. One and 2 count as Cano looks to finish off Connor Bright, the right fielder. The pitch on the way. Low and outside, and there is ball number 2. And now there's a steal attempt, and stealing home is number 24, Carson Lyles, extending the TMP lead to 3-0. So TMP leads 3-0, and the count's 2-2 to Bright. Cano delivers. This one will go outside, but they will call it strike 3 as Bright just watches it go by, but both Schmeidler and Brown will advance to their next base. So with Isaac Purinton up, will come up to the plate after Johnny Cano just recorded his 14th strikeout of the season. And the first pitch will be called a strike to the third baseman. Purinton had a hit earlier today against Manhattan, which was his 6th of the season. And the pitch on the way, this one also outside, but they'll say it's in there for strike 2. The last batter in the lineup is Jacob Seib. He's on deck. Cano kicks and deals, and this one will be fouled back as Purinton made an attempt to run to first base. Count will stay 0-2. Oh, and 2 the count. Runners at second and third. It looked like Purinton was going to take a swing at it, but it was too wide. He'll watch it go by for ball 1. Purinton with 6 RBIs on the year, trying to bring in those last 2 runners. Cano delivers, and he gets this one a little bit wide, and the count goes to 2-2. The next pitch will be the 6-1 of this first inning, or of this at-bat. Cano delivers on a 2-2 count, and once again fouled back by Purinton. Be a big hit for TMP right here, looking for 19 wins, looking for their 19th win of the season. And looking for their second win, but Puritan will swing on and miss and will strike out, and that will retire the side. But TMP is able to get 3 runs with Caden Dinkle, Grant Nails, and Carson Lyles, and they leave 2 runners stranded. We'll see how Hayes High responds when we come back. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Although they got no hits, TMP takes a 3-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the first inning, as Hayes High will lead it off with Johnny Cano. In that last game against Life Prep, had 2 hits for singles, but was left stranded in both the first and 5th inning. And the first pitch for him will go by for ball 1. The lineup for Hayes High will look like this, with Jalen Smith on deck. They will also go with Carter Graham in the 3 spot. The cleanup batter is the pitcher, Brett Rhodes. Batting 5th is Trace Jacobs, the left fielder. Bennett Smith is the designated hitter at the 6th spot. And the count now 2-1 to Johnny Cano. And then rounding out the bottom third of the lineup for Hayes High is Ian McGuire. 2-1 the count. Cano 2-1 the count. Cano takes a swing at this one, and it's popped up. And a little bit of some disagreements on who should get it, but the left fielder Adler Brown will come in and get it for out number 1. Take a quick look at the defensive alignment for TMP as we just saw Adler Brown make that play. He's in left field. Ty Schmeidler is the center fielder, and Connor Bright is in right field. Isaac Puritan is at third base. Grant Nails at shortstop. Jacob Sy will be the second baseman, and Ian Nails the first baseman, and the catcher is Caden Dinkle. And a huge hit here for Jalen Smith into the left field, and this will drop down in foul territory. See what Smith does this game after reaching twice in the previous game through a fielder's choice and an error. Reaching twice in the previous game through a fielder's choice and an error. As he's going up against Carson Lyles, as this one on the inside will be strike 2. This is the 5th start of the season for Carson Lyles, who's a second-team All-State selection. Has one of the lowest ERAs, not just in the 2-1A class, but also in KSHA as of May 1st. 0-2 count to Jalen Smith. He'll take a swing at this one, and it's popped up into the infield. The shortstop going back is Nails, and he almost had a collision with Ty Schmeidler, the center fielder, who ran in on it, but there is out number 2. So a 2 down. Now up for Hayes High is number 9, Carter Graham. Graham reached base in all of his at-bats against Life Prep. Had 2 singles to start the game and then followed that with 2 walks. And in the 7th inning, he was the third run to be scored of the game for Hayes High. Infielders playing back a little bit as Lyles delivers the pitch, and it will be low and outside for ball 1. The 1-0 count. Well, Graham will watch this one go by as well, and the count goes to 2-0. Graham is the leader in batting average for Hayes High at .390 coming into today's games. And I'll watch another one go by, and the count's 3-0. Graham has at least one hit in 14 of his 18 games this season. He'll once again watch this one go by, and that'll be the first strike of this at-bat. Brett Rhodes is on deck. Trace Jacobs in the hole. A 3-1 on the way. Down low, and they'll call that one strike 2. Two outs, and TMP already looking for a 3-up, 3-down inning to start the game. And there'll be a huge swing here for Carter Graham, and this one will drop down in front of the left fielder, and Hayes High's got their first base runner of the game. Now that'll bring up the cleanup batter, number 22, Brett Rhodes. Had a single in the game, which was the third of the 7th inning. He'll watch this one go by, and the count starts at 0-1. Pitch on the way, and this one will be on the inside, but Rhodes takes a swing at it. Count goes to 0-2. Looking to pick things up, has only gotten a hit in 3 of his last 8 games. And this one will be low and outside, as it'll be the first ball of the at-bat. And the pitch on the way. Rhodes takes a swing at it. Hard ground ball to the shortstop, Nails, and he will just make the easy throw to second base, and that will retire the side. Hayes High gets Carter Graham on through a single, but that is all that they can do, and we'll see what TMP does with their 3-0 lead in the top of the second when we come back. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team in Tribe Broadcasting.
We all know how hard it is to play sports outside of work and school, but sometimes we forget that we're not the only ones that are taking the time outside of work and school for these sports. Coaches spend a lot of time outside of school at practices, games, and other team events to help every athlete succeed. They set things up before practice and stay after to help their athletes. So remember to thank your coaches for all the time and effort they put in to make your experience the best it can be. I'm Jeremy Winslow, and this was a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association Student Advisory Team.
Back here at Leo Harper Field as we go to the top of the second inning with the 9-1-2 batters up for TMP. It's Jacob Seib, and he'll watch the first one go in the dirt for ball 1. Seib had a hit and 2 RBIs against Manhattan earlier today and also pitched 2/3 innings. And he's now up in the count 2-0. Ian Nails, the leadoff batter, is on deck, and in the hole is Caden Dinkle. Kano gets set, delivers. This one will be low and by the feet of Seib, and the count's now 3-0. Catcher shows it low and outside, but this one will go on the inside, and there's ball 4 to Jacob Seib. So with a runner already on, that'll bring up Ian Nails, who was the first out of the game. On a 1-1 count, he had the ground out to the pitcher, Rhodes, and he threw it over to first base where Jalen Smith was standing. First pitch of the at-bat, he'll show bunt, and it'll be a throwback to first base, and this will be in a pickle. Jalen Smith thought that Seib slid back, but he throws it over to second base. We're making the tag there is number 12, Cal Lonsdale. And it was a close play because Jalen Smith turned around and tagged first base, but there was nobody there. He thought Seib ran back, but instead he made the attempt to go to second base, and the out was made, and the count's 0-1 to Nails. Pitch on the way. This one low and inside to the left-hander Nails, and the count's 1-1. Nails, one of one of 3 all-state selections, will hit this one to the shortstop. Lonsdale will field it and throw it over to first base, and the play is made in time. So that'll bring up the second batter, the catcher, number 4, Caden Dinkle. Scored the first run of the game for TMP, and he'll be up in the count to start 1-0. On a 3-1 count, he walked and eventually would score from a wild pitch. And the pitch on the way, this will be a hard ground ball that will go into foul territory on the left-hand side. One and one the count with 2 outs. TMP got 5 players on base in the first inning, and they only have Jacob Seib on so far, though he got tied out for the first out of the inning. 1-2 is the count now to Dinkle. And Kano delivers. A little bit high on the breaking ball, and the count goes to 2-2. Kano will deliver the pitch. A little bit low, and the count's now full. We'll see if Dinkle can get on right here with the count full. 2 outs, kicks and deals Kano. Hard ground ball fielded by Graham at third base. He'll make the throw over to first, and that is in time to retire the side. So as Jacob Seib gets on through a 4-pitch walk, he will get out on a pickoff, and then 2 more outs will follow. And we'll see what Hayes High does when we come back. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secured. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, and baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember.
Back here at Leo Harper Field as we go to the bottom of the second inning for Hayes High, it'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters coming up next. And leading off the inning is number 3, Trace Jacobs. Count starts 1-0. Jacobs entered today with a .333 average, and he'll hit this one into the gap between left and center field, but Schmeiler able to chase it down for out number 1. So with 1 down, that will now bring up the designated hitter, number 23, Bennett Smith. Bennett's 5 for 20 coming into today's games, and reached base twice against Life Prep. Both of those were from walks. Got out in the second inning and scored in the 7th inning, which would actually end up being the game-winning run. The count is now 1-1. Catcher showing low and outside. Lyles delivers, and Smith takes a big swing at this one but misses it, and the count drops to 1-2. On deck for Hayes High is Ian McGuire, and in the hole is Landon Hardman. The 1-2 on the way. Outside, and the count goes to 2-2. Again, we're seeing the infielders for TMP play back a little bit. Another pitch goes outside, and the count will go to full. It's just the second time that TMP's pitching has given up a full count. The other time, Hayes High was able to get a runner on base, and they're going to call it strike 3. Looked a little bit low, but Bennett Smith didn't take a swing at it, but it'll be the first strikeout of the day for Carson Lyles. That now gives him 30 on the year. Now up is number 4, Ian McGuire for Hayes High. Singled and got hit by a pitch in the 7th inning against Life Prep, and he'll watch this one on the outside, and the count goes to 1-0. Another one goes low, and the count drops to 2-0. McGuire has gotten on base a total of 25 times this season. And this one will go foul, and the count goes to 2-1. With 2 outs, Lyles delivers. McGuire will watch this one go by, and it'll be called strike 2. Trying to avoid the 3-up, 3-down inning. And McGuire takes a late swing at this one, but this one will be dropped and picked up by Dinkle, and a high throw, but the out is made to Ian Nails at first base, and that will retire the side. So 3-up, 3-down, and next up will be the 3-4-5 batters for TMP. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
As athletes, we couldn't play the sports we do without officials.
Back here at Leo Harper Field as we go to the top of the 3rd inning, and leading off the inning for TMP is number 6, Grant Nails. The second run to score for TMP. Walked on a 3-1 count and got home. And the count will start off 0-1 as he watches the first one go by. TMP has 0 hits so far in the game, but has the 3-0 lead on Hayes High. It'll be a swing and a chopper down the first base line. Recovered by Johnny Cano. It looked like it was about to roll foul, but Cano does pick it up, and getting to first safely is Grant Nails. So that'll bring up the pitcher, number 24, Carson Lyles. Was hit on an 0-1 count in the first inning. And we'll try to work with a runner on. On deck is Ty Schmeidler, and in the hole is Adler Brown. Cano's ready, delivers, and Lyles showed bunt but pulls it back, and it'll be called strike 1. TMP with the lead, trying to get their second win of the Diamond Classic. They're 1-2 so far, with their win coming against Brush, Colorado, and their losses coming against Manhattan and Life Prep. Counts now 0-2 to Lyles. And the pitch on the way. And this will be fouled back, and the count will stay 0-2. All pitches in this third inning for Kano have been strikes. He's also thrown 13 pitches in each of the first and second inning. Lyles is ready. Kano gets set, trying to decide where he wants to position it. And Lyles taking another swing at this one, and it goes foul. Kano again playing as a relief pitcher in this game. Second game in a row. He pitched 1 inning against Life Prep just a little bit ago. The 5th pitch of the at-bat will be a ball. In that 1 inning against Life Prep, he only allowed 1 hit and recorded a strikeout. And Kano will deliver and swing. No, it will be fouled back. And now the count stays 1-2 as Lyles looking to get on for the second time today. Lyles only got on base 1 time earlier today against Manhattan through a walk. And Kano gets set and delivers this one, showing it on the outside, and it'll go by for ball 2. It's now 7 pitches in this at-bat. Kano delivers the pitch, a hard line drive into left field. Running back for it is Jacobs, and he makes the catch for out number 1. So with 1 down and a runner at first, that'll bring up the center fielder Ty Schmeidler. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning and would steal a base and eventually make it to third, but that's where he would be stranded in the first inning. One of the top players for this TMP team, the second-ranked player in the class of 2027 according to Kansas Prep Baseball. And this one will be popped up into the air, going towards the Hayes High dugout. Going after it is Graham, but he will make the catch. It was a little bit out of our vantage point, but he does make the grab in front of the dugout. And there's out number 2. Two down now. That will bring up Adler Brown to the plate. With 4 balls, he walked in the first inning and would be the last batter to face off against the starter for Hayes High, Brett Rhodes. And this first one will go by for ball 1. The runner at first base is Grant Nails. And the pitch on the way. A hard ground ball into foul territory on the third base side, and the count goes to 1-1. Nails will lead off first. Kano taking his time, will deliver. And it's a line drive right into the glove of Graham, but he dropped it and will have to make a cross-field throw. And it's in time for Jalen Smith at first base, and that retires the side. Grant Nails gets on through an 0-1 single, but then 3 outs follow after that. And Hayes High will have their 8-9-1 batters up next in the bottom of the third inning. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
We go to the bottom of the third inning, and leading off the inning for Hayes High is number 16, Landon Hardman, was the first runner to score for Hayes High against Life Prep. reached on a single in the 5th inning and was eventually brought home through an RBI. Facing off against Carson Lyles, and the first pitch will be fouled back, and the count starts off 0-1. This is the 5th start of the season for Lyles, and also the 7th appearance for him this season. And he'll deliver the next pitch outside, and the count goes to 1-1. Most recent appearance was on May 2nd against Russell, where he pitched for 6 innings. Only faced 24 batters and threw 101 pitches, and a swing and a miss there for Hardman brings the count up to 1-2. He got the win, recording twice as many strikeouts as he did hits. He allowed 5 hits and recorded 10 strikeouts in that game. And this one will be a swing and a miss for Hardman, and he will strike out for the first out of the inning. The last 3 batters to go up against Carson Lyles have struck out. Bennett Smith was looking. Ian McGuire was a swinging drop third. And rounding out the lineup is number 33, Caleb Rowe. Or correction, it'll actually be number 12, Cal Lonsdale, that comes into the lineup. Batting in the right-handed batter's box, he will watch this next one go by, and the count goes to 1-1. The lineup originally had Caleb Rowe in the 9th spot, the second baseman, but they switched it to Cal Lonsdale. And a swing and a miss. The count will go to 1-2. This is Lonsdale's first start of the season. And they will call this one strike 3. Make that 4 straight now against Carson Lyles. But Hayes Howell will now return to the top of the order for the first time in this game. And that'll bring up Johnny Cano, who had a high fly ball to left field in the first inning, and on a 2-1 count, he got out. And the pitch on the way to Cano will be down low, but called strike 1. Cano had a .293 average coming into today's games. And this pitch on the way will be a breaking ball that is just a little bit inside, and the count goes to 1-1. With 2 outs, that means Jalen Smith is on deck, and in the hole is Carter Graham. Another one goes outside, and the count goes to 2-1, tied up. We're seeing the infielders correction for TMP playing back a little bit as Cano takes a swing and fouls this one behind home plate. The count is now 2-2. Lyles delivers the pitch. Cano takes a swing at this one, and he will swing and miss at this one. It's another 3-up, 3-down inning for Hayes High. 3 straight strikeouts in this inning, and making that 5 strikeouts in a row for Carson Lyles. We go to the top of the 4th inning with the 7, 8, 9 batters for TMP coming up next. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians. Back here at Leo Harper Field as we go to the top of the 4th inning with the final 3 batters in the lineup for TMP. And leading it off is the right fielder Connor Bright, who right away gets a hit between the gap in the shortstop and the second baseman. And it's a base hit for Connor Bright. For him, that is his 18th hit of the season. after striking out looking in the first inning. And that'll now bring up number 11, Isaac Purinton. Struck out swinging on a 2-2 count to conclude the inning, or to conclude the first inning in his first at-bat. He'll show bunt, pull it back, and this one's on the outside, and he'll throw it down to first base, and it is in time. Connor Bright made a run for second base, then came back, and Jalen Smith will tag him out at first. Second time that we've seen that today. The other one was Jacob Seib in the second inning. He walked on 4 straight balls and then made a run for second base on a throw down to first, and then that one was an out. So the count, I believe, is 0-1, but we'll see what they say here in a second. It was tough. It doesn't look like the umpire made the call in time before the throw down was made, and the count is actually 2-0. With 1 out, Kano delivers to Purinton. It's a hard ground ball to the left side, and Graham will field it, make the throw down to first base, and it's in time for out number 2. The third 5-3 play of the game against TMP. And now up is number 3, Jacob Seib. As we just mentioned, he walked in the second inning but would get out on a pickoff play. And he watches the first one go by for strike 1. Seib has a .314 average for TMP this season. And the pitch on the way will be outside for ball 1. Kano gets set, delivers. It's another hard ground ball to that left side, but Graham will just watch it roll by, and it'll be a foul ball before it goes towards third base. Graham picked it up with his bare hands, and they called it foul. The count is 1-2 to the second baseman. Kano will look for his third strikeout of the game. And the pitch is on the way, on the inside, but it'll be called ball 2. Kano had 13 strikeouts coming into today's games, has 16 on the year when you add in what he's had so far today. And the count is now full to Jacob Seib. The pitch on the way, on the inside, and it'll be called ball 4. So Seib fights back, but is able to get to first base for the second time today through a walk. Only in the 4th inning, but we return back to TMP's, the top of the order for TMP for the 3rd time today. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Ian Nails. He's grounded out twice in this game. One of those was to the starting pitcher, Brett Rhodes. And the other one was a ground out to the shortstop, Cal Lonsdale. And the count is currently 0-1 as he fouls the first one off. Seib will lead off first base. Kano gets set, delivers, and it'll be called ball 1. See what Seib decides to do at first base. Coming into this game, he was 14 for 15 on stolen base attempts, and he's been out once in this game as the count goes to 2-1 for Nails. Shortstop and the second baseman will play back for Hayes High, and it'll be a stolen base attempt as Sanders makes the throw down to second base. It is not in time as he'll slide in safely. Cal Lonsdale was the one that fielded the ball from shortstop. And that's 15 steals on the year for Jacob Seib. It was called a strike, and it's 2-2 now to Ian Nails, batting from the left-handed batter's box and has a runner in scoring position. And they're going to call a balk on Johnny Kano, and Jacob Seib will get to advance to third base now. And Camden Sanders will come up to the pitcher's mound and have a short conversation with Johnny Kano as he's already walking back to home plate. Trying to retire the side and let the bats go to work for Hayes High after allowing 3 runs in the first inning. Pitch on the way. There's a hard chopper towards second base. It'll be fielded by Caleb Rowe, and the play is made for out number 3 to retire the side. TMP gets 2 runners on. Connor Brate hits a single. Jacob Side walks, but they will get one of those guys out, leave Jacob Side stranded, and have 2 outs go along with that. We'll have the bottom of the 4th when we come back. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team and Tribe Broadcasting.
Carson Lyles has struck out the last 5 TMP batters, and he'll be faced with a 2-3-4 here in the bottom of the 4th. He'll deliver the first pitch, and it's down low for strike 1. It'll be the first baseman, Jalen Smith, who popped out to Grant Nails at the shortstop position in the first inning. And Jalen Smith will take a swing at this one on a breaking ball. It'll be a ground ball to the shortstop. It's a little bit high, but Ian Nails will get it, and it'll be out number 1. So now up is the third baseman, Carter Graham. He had the first hit of the game the first and only hit of the game for Hayes High in the first inning on a full count, but he got out on a fielder's choice by the shortstop, and that would be the final out of the first inning. Pitch on the way is outside. The catcher tried to frame it, but it'll be ball 1. On deck is Brett Rhodes, and in the hole is Trace Jacobs. Lyles kicks and deals. Another breaking ball, and this one will be in there for strike 1. See what Graham can do right here, the leader in batting average for Hayes High. And he'll take a swing at this one to the shortstop. He'll field this one, and Grant Nails will make a throw to Ian Nails at first base. And another 6-3 play will lead to out number 2. So now the cleanup batter up for Hayes High. It'll be number 22, Brett Rhodes, playing in the second base position. We'll make a correction there. He was the one that made that last out in the 4th inning. And this will be a chopper to second base. And fielding it is Jacob Seib, and there is out number 3. So that's 3 straight 3-up, 3-down innings for Hayes High. And for TMP, they will also have their 2-3-4 batters up next in the top of the 5th inning when we come back. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
We all know how hard it is to play sports outside of work and school, but sometimes we forget that we're not the only ones that are taking the time outside of work and school for these sports. Coaches spend a lot of time outside of school at practices, games, and other team events to help every athlete succeed. They set things up before practice and stay after to help their athletes. So remember to thank your coaches for all the time and effort they put in to make your experience the best it can be. I'm Jeremy Winslow, and this was a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association Student Advisory Team.
Top of the fifth we go with the 2-3-4 batters up next for TMP, and leading off the inning is the catcher, Caden Dinkle. First one will be a hard ground ball that goes foul on the third base side. Dinkle trying to get on base and get his 27th hit of the season, though since May 2nd he's gone on a pattern with his hits, as this one will go, the pitch will go wide for ball one. Since May 2nd, he's gone on a pattern with his batting. In the last game against Manhattan, he did not record a hit. So if you're a TMP fan that pays attention to the stats, you'd expect him to hit one right here, because the next pattern in line is a hit in this game. And this one will be down low, and the count goes to 2-1. On deck is Grant Nails, and in the hole is Carson Lyles for TMP. The third-ranked team in the KABC rankings for Class 2 1A. Swing and a drive, and this one will be run up on by Trace Jacobs, and he will make the catch for out number one. And now up is the third batter, Grant Nails. Reached through a walk and scored in the first inning, and singled on an 0-1 count to lead off the third inning. Looking to get on once again. That was Nails' 25th hit of the season there in the third inning. And he'll throw this. This one will be low, but called strike one. 0-1 with one out. Kano kicks and deals. Low and an outside once again, but Grant Nails takes a swing at this one, and the count goes to 0-2. Oh and 2 on the way. Takes a bounce in the dirt on the right side of the plate, and the count goes to 1-2. With one out, TMP trying to extend their lead, and this one will be fouled off of Grant Nails. That's what that ball actually went into the infield, so it looked like it hit kind of close to the barrel of the bat. Four pitches in this at-bat. This one's the fifth, and it'll go foul on the third base side. Grant Nails has a .768 slugging percentage coming into this game with a 1-2 count. The pitch on the way. Nails takes a swing at this one, and he misses at it, and there's out number two. Three strikeouts now on the day for Johnny Kano against this TMP batting. And now up is the pitcher, Carson Lyles. 0-1 will be the count to start with two outs. Pitch on the way is just a little bit inside, and the count goes to 1-1 on a breaking ball. Again, Carson Lyles batting fourth in the lineup, although he's primarily used as a pitcher. He's only recorded 3 hits coming into this game, and he'll pop this one up into foul territory. Smith trying to run after it, but will go into the crowd near that bullpen for TMP on the first base side. One and two is the count for Lyles. Reached after getting hit in the first inning, and in his last at bat, he had the fly out to left field in the third inning. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, and there is the strikeout to retire the side. First time today first time since the second inning for TMP. It's 3 batters and 3 outs, so we'll see what Hayes High does, trying to get their first hit since the first inning and also their first runs of the game. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner and let's end littering together.
To the bottom of the fifth inning we go. Hayes High will have their 5, 6, 7 batters up next, going up against Carson Lyles, the pitcher, who has been very successful so far today, has 5 strikeouts so far, and has only allowed 1 hit against Hayes High. This one will be called for ball 1. And for Lyles, he's no stranger to doing this. If you take a look back at his recent performances, had 10 strikeouts and 5 hits allowed in his prior game against Russell. Count now goes to 2-0, and we'll take a look at some of his other performances. Didn't allow a hit in their game against Plainville, but recorded 8 strikeouts in that one. And he also had 2 strikeouts and 1 hit allowed against Colby back on April 8th. So quick shout out there to Jonathan Zweigert for providing that information. Count is now 2-1 to Trace Jacobs. And he'll take a half swing at this one. He'll go on the outside, and the count goes to 2-2. Lyles kicks and deals. And Jacobs thought about taking a swing at this one, but they will call this one strike 3. 6th strikeout on the day for Carson Lyles, and now up is the designated hitter Bennett Smith, who was struck out looking on a full count in the 2nd inning. Smith also reached base twice earlier today against Life Prep. A walk and a single for him in that game. And the count will start off 0-1. Pitch on the way. Takes a bounce in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-1. One and one with 1 out. Lyles delivers the pitch and a half swing or a swing there from Bennett Smith. He misses, and the count's now 1-2. Seeing Lyles throw a lot of pitches on the outside, and this one will go on the outside as well, and it'll be called ball 2. Pitch on the way from Lyles. This one will also be down low. And the count is now full. Once again, Bennett Smith faced with a full count. Struck out looking like we said in the 2nd inning. And the pitch is on the way, and it is on the inside, and it's ball 4. Second player for Hayes High to get on in this game. The other one was in the 1st inning through a single for Carter Graham. We'll see if Hayes High can build off that as we go to the bottom third of the lineup, and that is starts off with the center fielder, Ian McGuire. Was the final out of the 2nd inning on a drop 3rd strike on a 2-2 count. And the pitch is on the way. Down low for ball 1. In that last game for Ian McGuire, singled in the 2nd inning and got hit by a pitch in the 7th inning, advancing all the way to 3rd. Because he did not have to score, Hayes High would win that one on a walk-off hit by a pitch. For Ian McGuire, still continuing that trend as well. All of his hits this season have been singles. Coming into today's games, he had a 271 average, 13 for 48. Had 2 hits yesterday against Brush, and those were all singles as well. So a pretty interesting stat there for the Ellis native. Leading off at first is Bennett Smith. The count is 2-0 to McGuire. The pitch is on the way. He'll take a swing at this one, and it'll drop down, and Grant Nails will make a run for it, and he won't even make an attempt for the play. And there is a hit for Ian McGuire. It was a slow chopper. I'm not sure if it took a bounce at home plate, but landed in between that gap between third base and shortstop. Grant Nails fielded it and didn't even make an attempt to try and make a play. For the first time today, Hayes High's got a runner in scoring position. That's Bennett Smith, and Landon Hardman will come up to the plate now. 1-2, and in the third inning got struck out on a 1-2 count swinging, and he'll just pop this one up, and the right fielder is going to have to make a run for it, but the second baseman will come up, and the right fielder, Connor Bright, does make the play after all in foul territory. There is out number 2. Now up is number 12, Cal Lonsdale. Came in as a pinch hitter in the third inning, was not the original starter for Hayes High on that 9 spot. It was originally supposed to be Caleb Rowe. And the pitch will go, will be close, but it'll be called ball 1. This is Lonsdale's second appearance of the season. Started against Life Prep, and has came in as a pinch hitter in this game. He'll pop this one up, and the left fielder, Adler Brown, will track it down, and now the center fielder will be the one that calls for it. Schmeidler makes the grab, and there's out number 3. 2 Hayes High players get on. It's Bennett Smith walking on a full count, and a single from Ian McGuire. So we'll see what happens now as we go to the top of the 6th inning. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
As athletes, we couldn't play the sports we do without officials. Officials keep the game safe, fair, and fun. Our officials work hard in the off-season to be the best they can. The best way to thank them is to show them nothing but respect and gratitude during competition. As competition starts this year, please be aware of how you are treating officials in order to have the best outcome for your season and your officials. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team in Tribe Broadcasting.
We all know how hard it is to play sports aside of work and school, but sometimes we forget.
To the top of the 6th inning we go as TMP will have their 5, 6, 7 batters up next. Leading Hayes High 3-0. They also haven't had their bats very active, only 2 hits in the game. Just been capitalizing off some mistakes for Hayes High. And if we take a look back at their game from earlier today, as Schmeidler fouls it off, the count will start off 0-1. Earlier today against Manhattan, they lost that game 9-2. They only had 3 hits and 2 runs scored. And in this game, they have 3 runs scored and only 2 hits. It'll be fouled back once again by Ty Schmeidler, and the count goes to 0-2. And real quickly, we'll take a look at how all the games went today for the Diamond Classic. Manhattan, as we said, beat TMP 9-2 in the first game today, and then they, in the exact same score, they beat Brush, Colorado 9-2. Life Prep would hand Brush their 4th loss of the weekend, winning that one by a final score of 9-0, and then Hayes High beat Life Prep in the game prior to this, and it come from behind victory 6-5. The count is 1-2, and the pitch will be popped up and will go into foul territory near the Hayes High bullpen. And the 5th pitch of the at-bat is coming up next. Adler Brown is on deck, and in the hole is Connor Bright. Kano delivers the pitch, and it takes a bounce before it even reaches home plate, and the count goes to 2-2. Sanders shows that he wants it on the outside. Kano delivers. It's low, and now the count will go to full. Kano struck out the last two batters, Grant Nails and Carson Lyles, both swinging. Now we'll try to do it again here on the 3-2 count. It's a line drive. They'll take a bounce in front, Carter Graham, and he loses control of it. And Ty Schmeidler will reach on an error. Second error of the game for this Hayes High defense. And now up is the left fielder Adler Brown. Has reached once on a walk and then had the ground out to Carter Graham at third base in the third inning, which would be the final out of that inning. It's a throw back to first base, and Schmeidler gets back safely. Hayes High has gotten two pickoff outs so far in this game. One of them was Connor Bright in the fourth inning. The other was Jacob Seib in the second inning. Here's a bunt from Adler Brown. He'll throw it over to first base, and it's in time. And now Schmeidler tried advancing to third base, and now he's gonna be in a pickle, trying to run back to second base, and it's thrown back, and it's a double play there for Hayes High. So on the bunt, Adler Brown put it down the third base line. Carter Graham fields it, makes the throw down to first base, and then Schmeidler, I think because no one was covering third base, he made an attempt to run there. But now it's two down. Three pickoff outs in this game, or outs where a player has had to be in a pickle. Hayes High has gotten three out in this game. And the pitch is on the way to Connor Brighton. He'll put a line drive between the gap in center field and right field. And the right fielder, Landon Hardman, will field it and make the throw over to the cutoff. Second hit of the game for Connor Bright. And now up is the eighth batter in the lineup, the third baseman, Isaac Purinton. Purinton struck out in the first inning, and in the fourth inning had a ground out to Carter Graham. And this will be fouled back, and the count starts off 0-1. So we're in the top of the sixth inning. The score is TMP 3, Hayes High 0. Hayes High trying to make another push just like they did earlier today. And that come from behind victory where they scored 5 unanswered runs against the Fire. As the count is now 1-1. Pitch on the way from Kano. It'll be outside, and Sanders made an attempt like he was going to throw it to first base where Bright is occupying. And the count is 2-1. The pitch on the way will be a line drive and will bounce in front of the center fielder McGuire, and all runners will advance. Seven hits on the season now for Isaac Purinton, and for TMP, that is their 176th hit of the season. And the final batter in the lineup now up is Jacob Seib. Has walked twice in this game and has been left stranded, though he was out in the second inning on a pickoff play. And he will line this one into that same gap between the shortstop and second baseman. McGuire will make the throw as the runner from third is trying to advance home, and the tag is not in time as the attempt was not even made. And now a throw to second base is where Isaac Purinton is, and they can't make it. And it's a 4-0 lead now for TMP. So Jacob Seib has gotten on all 3 of his at-bats today, or all 3 of his plate appearances today, as he's walked the first 2, but he gets his first hit of the day. And this one down low for ball 1 for Ian Nails. One and 0 the count to the left-handed batter, Ian Nails. And he'll take a swing at this one as the shortstop, Lonsdale, will field it, make a throw to second base on a fielder's choice, and it's in time to retire the side. TMP does, however, get a run from Connor Bright, who was the second runner to get on after Ty Schmeidler got out at third on a pickoff play. But TMP leads it 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Top of the order now up in the bottom of the 6th inning for Hayes High, trying to fight back and potentially take the lead against the 18-5 TMP Marion Monarchs, the third-ranked team in the 2-1A class. Both teams trying to get some wins and potentially host for regionals. And Kano will show bunt, and it'll go down the third base line. Lyles will have to be the one to run up on it, and getting to first safely is Johnny Kano. And for I believe for the second game in a row, correct. The second game in a row, Johnny Kano puts down a bunt single. Did that in the first inning, but would get out on a 6-4 play in that 5th inning against Life Prep. But he is on as the leadoff batter in this inning, and now up is Jalen Smith. Pitch on the way from Lyles, hard hit ball by Smith, and it will go into foul territory on the left field line. It's a strong hit there from Jalen Smith, just couldn't quite keep it fair. See how much longer TMP decides to keep Lyles in, or maybe even pitch him the whole game. He's been doing great so far. Has thrown 68 pitches in this game. The limit by Keisha rules is 105. And a breaking ball will be called strike 2 to Jalen Smith. Lyles gets set. And they'll be called time. And Smith will step back into the batter's box after time was called. Lyles did take a long time before he delivered the pitch, and now for this one he will. And it's a line drive that once again will bounce foul correction on the left field side. So 0-2 is the count. Carter Graham is on deck, and Smith will take a swing at this one and foul it back. Second one that he's fouled back after getting down in the count 0-2. Hayes High trailing 4-0. Trying to go 3-1 on the weekend of the Diamond Classic, the 43rd annual edition of this tournament. And it's a hard hit ball once again down the left field side, and it once again lands in foul territory. Hard hit ball, just couldn't quite keep it fair. Smith has put some power in this inning. And this one will be a hard hit ball trying to get down, and it will between the left and center fielder. This should bring a run home as Kano will head towards third. The ball has not been fielded yet by the 3:45 mark of the outfield, and an RBI double for Jalen Smith. First run of the game for Hayes High. So for Jalen Smith, looking at his stat sheets, that is his 9th RBI of the season and his 5th double of the season as well. Now up is the third batter in the lineup, Carter Graham. He's been a very good hitter for Hayes High this season. The leader, of course, in batting average. Graham also has 21 RBIs coming into today's games as he's up in the count 1-0. Lyles looks back at second base, and Graham takes a hard swing but doesn't quite connect on it, and the count goes to 1-1. Smith will lead off second base. Second baseman is behind the base. Lyles will once again take a look back. And the pitch on the way to Graham. Thought about taking a swing at this one, but it's down low, and the count will go to 2-1. Graham singled in the first inning, making that 16 of 20 games now that he's gotten a hit in. And he'll take a swing at this one down the third base line. It gets past the third baseman. Purinton couldn't quite get a hold of it. Rounding third base is Jalen Smith. He will come home. The throw will not be in time as he slides in. And it's a 4-2 TMP lead that Hayes High is cutting into. No outs and 2 runs scored here in the 6th inning by Hayes High. And now up is Brett Rhodes. Has put the ball in play twice. Didn't reach base in the end of the first inning because of a fielder's choice play. And in the 4th inning, he would be the last out of that inning as well, and a ground out to the second baseman. And we're going to have a mound meeting between Carson Lyles and TMP's head coach. So we'll take a quick break as they talk, or correction, actually we won't. They just ended the meeting as Carter Graham will go back to first base, and that will bring up Brett Rhodes. As we mentioned, he is 0 for 2 today because of a fielder's choice where he put the ball in play, and he grounded out to second base in the 4th inning. Rhodes is set, and the pitch on the way from Lyles, and this will be popped up into foul territory, and the count's 0-1. Catcher shows that he wants it low and outside. That's where Lyles has been putting a majority of his pitches today. And it will break and go in there for strike 2. Graham's at first, 0-2 on the way. And a hard ground ball. The shortstop Nails will run up on it. And thought about it too long. He thought about going to second, looked at first, and didn't make the play. And Hayes High's got another runner on. It's the 2nd time today we see Grant Nails field the ball and then just concede because no play is able to be made. That time, though, he just thought about it too much. And now up is Trace Jacobs. Runner in scoring position. If Jacobs gets on, he would technically be the go-ahead run because Hayes High, if they take the lead right here, just has to hold TMP in the next inning, and they will win the game. Lyles kicks and deals. And Trace Jacobs will show bunt, and it will land in foul territory right away. Had the right idea, but just the wrong angle. So the count will start off 0-1. Trying to advance Carter Graham to third base. This time the first baseman's actually playing closer to home plate than the third baseman. And the pitch is on the way, and it takes a bounce in the dirt. And the catcher will get out of his stance and look at both runners. And the count is 1-1. Both runners leading off their bases. And Lyles delivers the pitch. Jacobs shows bunt, pulls it back. This one was high, and the count's now 2-1. Two and one is the count. Lyles will deliver the pitch, and Jacobs will show bunt once again, but misses it, and it's a 2-2 count. So he has to start swinging here, as a foul ball here on a bunt would result in an out. The 2-2 on the way, and Jacobs will watch it go by on the outside, and the count is now full. Runners at second and first on a full count, no outs. The score, TMP 4, Hayes High 2. And the full count. And a swing here for Jacobs. He'll make it'll be recovered by the third baseman. And they'll say that he's out at second base. The out at second base is Brett Rhodes. They're trying to make an argument, though, because the second baseman, when he fielded it, dropped it, but they will call Brett Rhodes out. So Trace Jacobs will get to first, though, on a fielder's choice. There was no attempt to tag Carter Graham, who advanced to third. Now Hayes High will put a pinch hitter into the game. Instead of Bennett Smith, it'll be number 18, Carson Flaska, now at to bat. Bennett Smith was walked and struck out looking in the game, and now Carson Flaska, the pinch hitter, will take a swing at the first pitch, and he'll go back foul, and the count starts off 0-1. Flaska just has 2 plate appearances this season. Is now faced with an opportunity to make it a 1-run game if he can bring Graham home. And this will be on the outside, and it's once again called a strike. And the count goes down now to 0-2. With 1 out, the count is 0-2. Lyles kicks and deals. Flaska takes a swing at this one. A hard hit ball into the outfield. The right fielder, Bright, running after it. He makes the catch, but Graham is able to tag up and will be able to run home safely. And actually, no run will be scored. Trace Jacobs took off running. There was only 1 out and no runs will be scored, but Hayes High does score 2, though, in this 6th inning from Johnny Cano getting on through a bunt single, and then a double by Jalen Smith brought Cano home, and Smith would eventually get home as well. We go to the final inning with the score of TMP 4, Hayes High 2. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
So as we start the top of the final inning, Hayes High will make a pitching change as Johnny Cano, after pitching 5 2/3 innings as a relief pitcher, only allowing 6 hits and 1 run and recording 4 strikeouts on the day. It'll be Trace Jacobs coming in for his 3rd appearance of the season. Has pitched 4 2/3 innings, recorded 4 strikeouts on the year. Opponent batting average is .312, and this is his first appearance since his start against Dodge City, where he pitched 4 innings in that game. And the first pitch will be called a ball. He will face the 2, 3, 4 batters, and leading off is Caden Dinkle. And the next one will be called a ball. The count is now 2-0. Dinkle has reached base once in this game. he can get a hit right here, we'll continue his pattern of games where he's either gotten a hit or not gotten a hit. As we said earlier today against Manhattan, he did not get a hit, so if the pattern continues, he would get a hit right here in this game. Counts now 2-1. This one will go foul, as Jacobs will look to get the out right here. Jacobs has 4 strikeouts this season, looking for his 5th. And Jacobs kicks and deals, and the pitch goes high, and the count is now full at 3-2. And the pitch on the way. And a hard ground ball over to the Carter Graham at third base. And he'll throw across field to Jalen Smith at first base, and there's the first out. Another 5-3 play that we've seen in 4 of the last 5 innings now. And the first one for Grant Nails will drop in between the left and center fielder, and it'll be thrown back in. He thought about going for second base, but it's a single for Nails. So now up is the pitcher, Carson Lyles. He's reached base once. That was a hit by a pitch play. And he's gotten out since then through a fly out to the left fielder and a struck-out swinging in his previous at-bat on a 1-2 count. Jacobs will deliver, and this one will be a little bit high. Sanders saves it, though, and the count will go to 1-0. Lyles will step back into the box. Jacobs delivers the pitch. A little bit high, and the count goes to 2-0. And it'll be a throwback now to first base where Nails was leading off. Hayeside's gotten a couple pick-off outs in this game. So the count is 2-0 with 1 out. Jacobs kicks and deals, and this one will go high and outside. 3-0 is the count. And it'll be a throwback once again to first base by Trace Jacobs. Couldn't quite make the tag in time, and Nails will still occupy that base. Jacobs is ready, and he delivers. And this will be outside, and there's ball 4. There's a lot of Hayes High fans that wanted a strike call. I can see they're in front of us, but they will call it ball 4. And now up is the center fielder, number 34, Ty Schmeidler. Has not gotten a hit today, but has reached base twice through a fielder's choice and an error by the third baseman in the prior inning. Jacobs delivers the pitch. This one will go high in the ball, and it's ball 1. So with runners at first and second, there's only 1 out. Hayes High trying to stop TMP and potentially complete another comeback here in the when they go up to bat in the bottom of the 7th. Schmeidler's batting from the left-handed box, and Jacobs delivers. And it will drop in there for strike 1. Both runners will lead off a little bit as the pitch goes in. It's a swing and a miss for Schmeidler as the count goes to 1-2. With 1 out, Jacobs looking for the strikeout. Has 4 this season, and this one will go high, and the count is 2-2. 2-2 is the count to Schmeidler. Runners at first and second. Pitch on the way, and it's a hard ground ball to first base. It's fielded by Jalen Smith. He'll make the throw to Trace Jacobs, and the tag is out in time at first base, though both runners advance. That is out number 2. A very quick play, but it's a 3-1 out there. And it's 2 down as there's 2 runners in scoring position for TMP as they look for some insurance before going into the final inning. And now up is the left fielder, Adler Brown. Walked in the first inning, but since then his last 2 at-bats have been ground outs to Carter Graham at third base. And this one will go over Brown's head, but fielded by Camden Sanders. Count will start off 1-0. And the pitch on the way from Jacobs will be down low, and there's ball 2. Two and 0 on the way from Jacobs. A little bit high. Sanders tried to frame it, and there's a 3-0 count. Jacobs pitch on the way. Bounces down low and then gets past Sanders. This is going to bring a run home, and TMP will score once again. And now no one covering at third. They'll try to make the throw down, and there is an out as once again Carson Lyles, he tried advancing, or correction, it's another TMP player that tried advancing. Grant Nails scores, but a pickoff play is made. TMP gets an insurance run, and they are now up 5-2 as we go to the final inning. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians. Hayes High will have their 7, 8, and 9 batters up as we go into the final inning, trailing TMP 5-2 and looking for another comeback here in the final day of the Diamond Classic, and in this one being the final game. TMP, on the other hand, looking for their 19th win of the season and second straight win against Hayes High as the count starts off with 1-0 as McGuire watches that one go on the outside. This is the third year in a row that Hayes High and TMP are playing each other. As it's a foul ball, it's now 1-1. Those last 2 games are the only ones in recent history. You got Hayes High winning in 11-1 in 2023, and then last year, TMP able to pull through and win that one 8-2. McGuire takes a huge swing and misses, and the count's now 1-2. No outs. McGuire takes a swing at this one, and it'll go back behind home plate and out of play. Count will stay 1-2. Pitch on the way from Lyles. And McGuire will take a swing at this one. Barely got a hold of it, and that'll be a foul ball. Lyles kicks and deals. And it's a hard hit ball by McGuire into the gap, but getting under it is Bright. trying to track it down in the sun, but he gets it, and there's out number 1. Back-to-back flyouts to right field, and now up is Landon Hardman. He's gotten out twice in this game, struck out swinging in the 3rd, and in the 5th inning, flew out to right field in foul territory. The play was made. Watch this first one go by, and it'll be called strike 1. Lyles delivers the next pitch. This one's popped up into the air. This one will stay in play. Ian Nails, the first baseman, will track it down in foul territory, and he falls down, but he makes the catch, and there's 2 down. So Hayes High trailing by 3 brings us to the final batter of the order. And with 2 outs, Cal Lonsdale, the pinch hitter who came in the 3rd inning, will come up to bat. 0 for 2 today, but if he can get on, he will bring up the top of the order that scored the 2 runs for Hayes High in the prior inning, with Johnny Cano, Jalen Smith, and Carter Graham coming up next if Lonsdale gets on. Batting from the right-handed box, Lonsdale will watch the first one go by, and there's called strike 1. Another pitch on the way. Lonsdale swings at this one, and it goes foul and out of play, and the count goes to 0-2. Carson Lyles just needs one more strike to get the out and get the win. This season, he has a 2-1 record, and make that 3-1 as it's a swing and a miss, and that will retire the side and give TMP the win as they defeat Hayes High 5-2 and improve their record to 19-5 on the year. And Hayes High, for them, they will also go 2-2 in the Diamond Classic this weekend, and they will drop to 13-8 on the year. So we'll see, or we'll have our post-game show coverage for you when we come back. We'll take a look at tonight's game and take a look at some stats as well, and we will sign off after that. This is Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, and baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
Back here at Leo Harper Field on the postgame show as TMP gets the win over Hayes High by a final score of 5-2, as both teams will go 2-2 on the weekend of the Diamond Classic. And we'll now recap tonight's game. TMP got started strong after Ian Nails grounded out. There would be 3 straight runs scored by the Monarchs, and 2 would be left on base. They did not get a hit, though, in that first inning. The first 3 runners to score were 2 of them were walked, and 1 of them was hit by a pitch. And Hayes High would make a pitching change to get the final 2 outs with Johnny Cano coming in. Hayes High would get a runner on in the first inning with Carter Graham, but he would get out on a fielder's choice play to end the inning. But Hayes High would pick things up, getting 3 outs with 3 batters in the second inning. And it would also be 3 straight 3-up, 3-down innings for Hayes High to follow after that going into the 4th inning. For TMP in those third and fourth innings, they would also leave a runner stranded in each of those innings after getting one hit. And in the top of the fifth inning, that would be the first three. Technically, be the first 3 up, 3 down inning for TMP. Although they had the 3 outs in the second inning, they had Jacob Seib get on through a 4-pitch walk. And in the fifth inning, Hayes High would get 2 runners on through a walk and a single, and then but they would leave both those guys stranded. And in the sixth inning, TMP would score their 4th run of the game. Connor Bright got on through a single, and then 2 more singles followed after that to bring him home. And Hayes High would make an attempt to fight back in the bottom of the 6th inning. They led off the top of the order. Johnny Cano and Jalen Smith would both score, single from Cano and a double from Smith. And then 2 more singles followed after that from Carter Graham and Brett Rhodes. But Hayes High would leave one runner stranded, and get 3 hits and an error, and reach on an error, and get 2 runs scored in that 6th inning. And then in the final inning, TMP did get an insurance run with Grant Nails scoring, and in the final inning, Hayes High would just go 3 up, 3 down, and they would lose by a final score of 5-2. And real quickly, we'll also take a look at our final individual and team numbers. We'll start off with Hayes High's batting. Johnny Cano had a run and a hit. Jalen Smith would get a run and a hit as well, and he also had an RBI. Graham would get 2 hits. Carter Graham would get 2 hits and record an RBI. Brett Rhodes also had a hit. Trace Jacobs would record 1 hit on his 3 at-bats. Number 23, Bennett Smith, walked on his 1 at-bat. And then Ian McGuire had a hit as well. And Hayes High as a team would get 2 runs on 7 hits. Both of those runs were batted in, and they only had 1 walk. And looking at Hayes High's pitching in today's game, Brett Rhodes only pitched a third of an inning, allowing 3 runs, which were all earned, and he also gave up 3 walks as well. Johnny Cano came in after that and pitched 5 2/3 innings, giving up 6 hits and a run, which was earned. And he also had 2 walks, but did have 4 strikeouts on the day, which accounted for all of the strikeouts for Hayes High. And Trace Jacobs would pitch the final inning, only allowing a hit and a run and 2 walks for Hayes High's pitching. For TMP, Ian Nails recorded a hit. Caden Dinkle got on once through a walk. Grant Nails would get 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk as well. Carson Lyles recorded 1 run and a walk. Ty Schmeiler would get an RBI, and Adler Brown would reach twice for both of those being walks. Connor Bright had a run and 2 hits, and then rounding out, Isaac Purinton got a hit, and Jacob Seib also had a hit with an RBI and 2 walks to go with that. So for TMP, they had 7 hits on the day. 2 of their 5 runs were batted in, and they also had 7 walks as well. Carson Lyles also pitched the entire game for Hayes High, getting only allowing 7 hits and 2 runs, which were all earned, and recorded 6 strikeouts on the day and only allowing 1 walk. So he's the pitcher that gets the win, and the loss will go to Brett Rhodes. And across the sheet, it's 5 runs scored for TMP and 6 hits and only 1 error by their fielding. And they left 6 players on base for the whole game. And for Hayes High, they had 2 runs on 5 hits with 2 errors and 3 players left on base. And that's going to wrap things up as TMP wins it. They improved to 19-5 on the year, and Hayes High will fall to 13-8 as both teams go 2-2 on the weekend. And looking ahead for both teams, Hayes High's next game will be a single game on the road against Liberal on Thursday the 15th, and then they will have a doubleheader against Junction City on Friday the 16th. And for TMP, we'll take a look real quickly at what's up next for them. We'll take a look and see if that's provided. They will round out their regular season on Tuesday with a doubleheader against Garden City. So thank you. We want to thank you all for tuning into today's game and listening to both games as part of the Diamond Classic. I'm Hank Corsair. This has been Hayes High Baseball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We will see you all next time.